Good morning. Sunday, 18th of February, and today we're running a half marathon. It is the Wrexham Village Bakery half. It is 7:40 in the morning, bright and early. Just filled up at the petrol station and we're smashing it an hour down the road into Wrexham to run the Wrexham Bakery Village half. Now, we did this race last year, pancake flat, really nice course, really looking forward to it. It's a bit wet outside, so hopefully the rain will stop by the time we get there. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Kind of at the end of 7 weeks worth of marathon training. So I'm supposed to be doing 16 miles today, but we've opted to do a bit of a race instead. So it'll be about a mile or so warm up, 13 miles around the course, and then probably a mile cool down. So we might just about get our mileage in for week 7. But yeah, really super happy about this one, really looking forward to it. And I'm just off the back of getting my new lactate threshold test data, so I'm going to put some of those paces into action and see what I can get around this race in. Now, I'm not smashing it out the park. It is going to be just not so much a training run, maybe a little bit tempo run, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna formulate a plan on my way there, but I've ran twice this week. I'm feeling pretty fresh. The shins are kind of playing ball at the moment. They're not too bad. I've had a couple of days rest since my last run on Thursday, so I'm all ready to smash this one out the park in a steady type of way. So let's get down the road and we'll catch up when we're there. We have arrived in Wrexham with probably just under an hour to go. And I don't know about anybody else, but my start of races seems to be consumed with toilet activity. I'm not nervous in the slightest, but my belly thinks otherwise. And I'm probably going to queue up for the toilet maybe 2 or 3 times, which is annoying. Any tips from anybody on how you can stop wanting to go to the toilet so many times, please put them in the comments below. But gonna go and get race number now, and then have a good warm up, and then get around this race. Last mile, averaging 7:59, better than I thought, but I'm feeling dead. I'm getting a stitch. Whew. Can't talk. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. 144. 144.42. Wow. That's a massive PB. Let's wait for Nick to come in now. Go on, Nick! Go on! Well done! Yes! Well done! You look battered.
Yeah. Three were hard.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Come on!
Come on, Rob! Well done, mate. Keep it going. Okay, well, it is Wednesday, so now 3 days after the Wrexham Village Bakery half marathon, and I'm just about to go out on a 5-mile recovery run. I haven't done anything since Sunday, and I thought I would finish off this video by giving you a bit of review of the race, the day, my performance, and where I go from here. So I went into the race really with not a huge amount of expectation. I was coming to the end of week 7 worth of marathon training, so although I did have a 16-mile run on my training plan, I opted to go with a race instead. So I went in there pretty much with an open mind. I've done all of my marathon training this year in this block purely easy running and low heart rate running, mainly because I've got persistent shin splints and I'm trying to manage that without reducing my mileage. So I've kind of cut out all of my speed work apart from the odd race here and there. And I am throwing some half marathon and marathon chunks into my long runs on a Sunday, just so I'm having my legs turn over a little bit quicker than just my easy pace running. So yeah, I went into the race on Sunday with no pressure on myself, no expectations, no real plan. I knew that if I was going to try and run a PB, then I needed to be running around 8:15 minute miling, as my current half marathon PB was 1:48.47. So I knew what I'd need to run if I was feeling good and wanted to try to go for a PB. But I just thought I'd get the first 5k done, running comfortably, see how I felt, and take it from there. Now I'm going to put up the mile splits. I've got them in my hand so I can refer to them. So I put my mileage splits up on the screen now. And yeah, the first mile is kind of, well, the first 2 miles I'd probably say net downhill. And I felt pretty good. I was running an average of around 7:50 pace. So first mile was 7:56, second mile 7:44. Felt pretty good. And I felt like I could maintain that pace. And I just went with it, to be honest with you. I didn't get pulled along by the crowd. I just was running to feel at that particular time. I was maintaining my heart rate below 144, so I knew that I was keeping my lactate under check. Now, if you haven't seen my previous video, I did a lactate workshop a couple of weeks ago, and I got a lactate report. I will link it in the description below. Have a look at it because it's really helped already with setting my heart rate paces and my zones for training and for this particular race. So I was checking my heart rate, making sure it was down below 144, so I didn't kind of push it too high to LT2 threshold. And I started to feel good. As the miles ticked by, I was maintaining around that kind of 7:55, 8-minute mile pace. And if I'm completely honest, other than mile 11, which had a little bit of a nasty uphill, I pretty much kept my pace on track. And you can see from the splits, mile 3 was 8-minute miling, Mile 4 was 7:53, then 8:02, then 8, 7:59, 7:53, 7:56. Mile 10 was 8 minutes, back to 8 minutes, and then we had that mile 11, which was slightly uphill, at 8:14, which is my slowest mile of the race. And as I got to the top of the hill and realised I had 2.1 miles left, and I looked at the elapsed time and my average pace, which I always maintain my average pace. I always have my average pace on my watch as well as current lap pace. I knew that I was running at sub 8 minute miling for the sort of 11 miles that I'd done, and I knew I was on track for a PB. I didn't feel like I was rinsing myself, although I was getting pretty tired. The last 2 miles were quite tough. My legs were a bit sore. I took a couple of gels throughout the race. I tried some fueling strategy that I plan to use for the marathon, and but the last 2 miles are they downhill at all? No, they're pretty flat, to be fair. I mean, it is a really flat course, but the last 2 miles are pretty flat. So I knocked out the last 2 and a bit miles at 8:03 and 7:53. So actually, my first mile was quicker than my last, and my second fastest mile of the race. So overall, I came in at 1:44.43 official time, average pace 7:57, and knocked a huge 4 minutes and 6 seconds off my PB. So mega chuffed. And if I'm completely honest, yeah, I was knackered. However, I honestly feel that I was probably at 85-90% during that race. So I think I could have pushed it harder. I really believe that I can run a 140, sub 140, 139. In my current kind of fitness state at the moment, I think I've got that in me. As long as I get my fueling strategy right and the lead up to the race is good. So I've got another half marathon on the 24th, I think it is, of March, which is the Wilmslow half. So I've got another 4 weeks worth of training, which I hope will put me in a position where I can have a blast at that one. And that'll be the last race before London Marathon on April the 21st. So yeah, that race went amazing. I was really happy to run a PB. I wasn't expecting it driving to the race, but I was pleasantly surprised with how I could maintain a really good steady pace for the full 13 miles. It bodes well for the rest of my training and for London. My shins were wrecked at the end of it. I say shins, actually my right leg shin is playing ball at the moment. It's my left. It was excruciatingly painful Monday morning. I was walking like an 80-year-old man. And actually, having said that, I was about 100 metres away from the finish, and I heard over the tannoy, and there's an 80-year-old bloke, our first 80-year-old bloke coming over the line in a sub 145. Now, fair play to the 80-year-old bloke coming in at sub 145. I was there running thinking I was doing pretty well. I'm 50. And I got beat by an 80-year-old, but I've checked his power of 10, and man, he is a good runner. I forget his name, but kudos to that 80-year-old bloke that finished in the same time as me. We both crossed over at 1:44.42. So, mate, you are an inspiration, and well done, mate. That was a cracking run at your age. Keep it going and keep up the good work. So yeah, that's where we are. Super happy with how the race went. I'm about to go out and get a recovery run in now, and then crack on with this week's sort of marathon training, which again is it's a down week this week actually. So I've got 4.3 miles today, 6 miles tomorrow, and then I've got 9 miles on Sunday. I've dialed my training back to running 3 times a week. I was running 4 just while I had a flare up of my shins. I'm hoping that this down week will right them, and then next week I'll be back out to 4 days a week, as well as I'm going to start throwing in some bike work, and I'm going to start throwing in some more stretching exercises post run as well. So yeah, overall, super happy with a 1:44.43, new half marathon PB. If you ran Wrexham, I hope you had a good race, and massive kudos to the organisers. Run Cheshire did a cracking job. That's my second time running the Wrexham half, and I will be back again next year because I love that race. It's brilliant. If you've liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. As always, it really does help me rank on YouTube so other people can find my content. And if you would consider hitting subscribe and knocking that bell icon, it would be greatly appreciated. But for now, I need to get my shoes on, get out the door and get this 6 mile done and start thinking about next week's video. I'll see you on the next one.